And now, the Corry Federal Credit Union presents Clymer Sherman Panama Wolfpack Football play-by-play on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream at channel989.org. This broadcast is brought to you by the Corry Federal Credit Union, Lictus Oil and Propane, Meerhoffs Furniture and Appliance, Jim's Automotive, Flicks Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning, and Daniels Electric, Necker's General Store, the Cornerstone Restaurant, Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services, Sherman Country General Store, Triple E Manufacturing, Tina Dill's Real Estate Agent, Crotty Chevrolet, Utegg's Body Shop, Countertop Solutions, J. Edwards Insurance. And now the Corry Federal Credit Union pregame show.
Welcome up to Cork for a very exciting Saturday afternoon contest between the CSP Wolfpack and the Randolph Cardinals. I'm Josh Hosier.
And I'm David Gardner.
And we're here to bring you all the action today in Clymer. 2 0-1 teams today, David. The Wolfpack coming off a tough loss to Waverly last Saturday night, and Randolph coming off a loss to Faulkner, Casadega Valley, Maple Grove, 27-17 on Friday/Saturday. They got rained out Friday and had to finish it on Saturday.
Yeah, it's tough when you start a game on one day and then you finish on the next day. And like you said, it changes the outcome of the game a lot of those times. We had a couple hurricane games in North Carolina where we started during one night and finished a week later. So definitely a tough way to play the game, but you still got to play in both teams, like you said, 0-1. Beautiful day, Josh, for football.
Absolutely gorgeous. We're about 15 minutes from Lictus Oil and Propane kickoff. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to have the Coach's Corner with Coach Ty Harper. But before we get to that, I just want to take a second and talk about last week's CSP game with Waverly. CSP, the score didn't look great. They lost 24-3, but until halfway through the third quarter, it was a 9-3 game. CSP had marched into the red zone 4 different times without points. Lost their top 2 receivers in Carter Brink and Bryce Hinsdale, and still came out 24-3 against the defending state champs at the Class C level.
You know, Coach Harper schedules those games on purpose like that. You want to play tough teams early on to kind of see what you got as you're going into the season, and it helps you get ready for the playoffs. Now, we expect this CSP team this year to be a good team just like last year. We expect a deep run again into the playoffs, and what a way to start the year. You play a good team who only lost 1 game last year in Waverly.
Yeah, and it was a great opportunity for CSP to find out how their young line's going to hold up. You know, they basically graduated the entire line last year. So these guys are stepping into new roles, and they have to step up quickly when you're going to play a team like Waverly to start the season. And, hey, Randolph's no slouch. This is a team that perennially competes in the Class D, and, a challenge for CSP today. So you want to go over to the Coach's Corner now and see what Coach Harper has to say?
Let's go hear from Coach.
Coach's Corner with CSP head coach Ty Harper is brought to you on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream by the following: Sherman Hotel, Steakhouse, and Saloon on West Main Street in Sherman. Phone 716-234-4020. Panama Pizza on Main Street in Panama. Phone 716-621-4030. Panama Auto Center on East Main Street in Panama. Phone 716-782-2110. Mosier's Carpeting on East Main Street in Clymer. MosiersCarpeting.com. Mama's Pizza on Main Street in Sherman. Phone 716-234-4014. Woods Auto Parts Napa on West Main Street in Sherman. Phone 716-761-6875. And by Lictus Oil and Propane and the Corry Federal Credit Union.
I'm Josh Hosier, and this is the CSP Coach's Corner. I'm here with Coach Ty Harper. Ty, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me.
We'll start off with the question that's going to be on everybody's mind. You guys took some injuries on Saturday. How is Carter doing, and how is Bryce doing?
Yeah, that was a tough night. Guys got banged up a little bit. Proud of the other guys that went in there and filled in for them. Thought we had a lot of guys battle on Saturday. It's looking optimistic, I'll say right now. Both Bryce and Carter participated in practice today. They want to get back on the field. Barring any setbacks, I think hopefully we'll get them back out there this weekend.
Great to hear. Happy to hear that they're doing a little better. Coach, Saturday game against a really great team, and until midway through the third quarter, it was anybody's game. They pulled away late on you guys, but as we mentioned, there was a few injuries and some other things that happened that kind of led to that. But I felt like you could play with them. I'm curious what you felt like, and how does that kind of set the stage for the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you don't win the game, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But I couldn't be prouder of the way the boys competed, especially with some of the injuries that we incurred. But, I thought they battled all night. I thought, like you said, we were in the game into the second half. We definitely left some opportunities on the field a couple times in the red zone where we didn't come away with points. We have to be better, in terms of our red zone offense. But, the effort was definitely there. And anytime you're playing against a tremendous opponent like Waverly, there's going to be some adversity. So, I think it's a game to build on. And potentially it's going to make us better in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. And looking ahead now, the next matchup, you guys have 12:30 on Saturday. Randolph's coming here to Clymer to play you guys. They lost their first week game as well to a much improved, I think, Faulkner, Casadega Valley, Maple Grove team. It's always a battle with Randolph. It's never going to be an easy game with them. It's just kind of the way it is in Class D. So, what do you look forward to with this game, and what's the keys to victory?
Yeah, we're never going to take Randolph lightly. Great program, incredible tradition, super well coached. So, that's definitely a good point. We're not going to go out there and assume that they're going to feel bad for us for our game last week. And, like you said, I think Faulkner Casadega is a good team. I think that Randolph did some really positive things last Friday and into Saturday when they had to resume the game. We know we're going to have to prepare this week in practice. We don't have time to really, dwell on our game with Waverly. We got to get back to work. And, every time we play Randolph, it's a dogfight, and I would anticipate it'll be similar on Saturday.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to it, Coach. Thank you for your time once again.
Appreciate you. Go Wolfpack.
This Wolfpack broadcast is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Restaurant and Bakery at 104 East Main Street in Sherman. The Cornerstone offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and baked goods. The phone number is 716-234-4002, or find them on Facebook. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Cornerstone in Sherman for their support.
Welcome back to Clymer, New York. Both teams gathering on their sidelines, getting ready for the introductions here from the PA announcer. We'll take a second and just talk about some of the things that Coach Harper said in the coach's corner. He mentioned the fact that staying healthy is an important part in the early season. We obviously know that, but kind of a cautious move, I think, by him pulling those two receivers earlier in that game. Not taking any chances there.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move. It's a game that's really not going to affect you going into the playoffs. You want to take every precaution that you can. And I think it was some good moves last week. Would it have changed the outcome of the game? I mean, that's something we could guess on all day long. But the reality is, you got to go on to the next week, put it behind you.
Absolutely. And as we continue to get closer and closer to the Lictus Oil and Propane kickoff, there's a very exciting atmosphere here in Clymer today. Quite a few fans lining up along the track like normal here. The usual excitement we see when CSP's playing well.
Yeah, I always love coming here. I played football here for a little bit, and always love coming to Clymer Central High School here, which is where the game is today. Jim Barber's a white hat today, and don't think I've seen him in action yet, but kind of looking forward to that today, Josh.
Yeah, it's as they're announcing the teams in the background, you're probably hearing a little bit of that background noise from us. Looking at Randolph, a couple big names to look at. Jackson Morrison, their quarterback, he's a quarterback that last year as a sophomore was impactful. This year as a junior will be as well. Kevin McElwain, the junior running back, he had a really good game the last outing for them against the Herd, including a 25-yard touchdown run. I think he had like 74 yards rushing. And then there's Connor Braley, who's their leading rusher. And he's a senior this year, big bruising back. And Randolph kind of has a history of having big bruising backs, right?
Yeah, Randolph last year, they were led by the quarterback Morrison. We saw him in action a couple times when they played CSP. They lost 21-6 and then 31-7 last year. So we got a little taste of him last year. And you talk about the big bruising backs. It reminds me of a big bruising back a long time ago. J.U. Kalkrick, watching him play. And Randolph kind of builds their running backs around that same scheme.
Yeah, I think, going back to both of our playing days, I guess, they've always kind of been that sort of team. I mentioned Kevin McElwain. There was a McElwain who was a star for them in the early 2000s. I'm not sure what the relation is for this young man, but he's definitely fast, moves the ball to the outside, gets the edge quickly. And as far as Connor Braley goes, he runs a lot like the guy they had a couple of years ago when they beat CSP. He's playing Division I football or maybe Division II football now. I'm trying to think of his name. He was their leading rusher, though. He was averaging like 7 yards a game 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow.
Speaking of college, some interesting little piece I did last week was just kind of a look at some of the Wolfpack players in college football. One of them is playing right now in a Division I football game against Robert Morris, and that is Cam Barmore. Mercyhurst currently trails Robert Morris 14-0 in the first quarter and have yet to complete a pass in the game, so Cam doesn't have any stats yet.
It's always fun when you get to call the games of the kids in high school and then they move on to the next level. I had the privilege of calling some Todd Gurley, and some Todd Gurley games. Was an amazing football player to watch live. And also, of course, Mario Williams, who went to Richlands High School. I had a chance to call a game with him, and but I tell you what, you look forward to that, and you see a lot of talent. What's even crazier is sometimes they don't even play the position when they go to college. They usually put them in a different position. So it's nice to see the difference in the skills of all the players.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think, you'll see a guy play quarterback in high school and then go off to college and not play quarterback. Right? That's, you put your best player with their hands on the ball as much as possible at the high school level. Depending on where you're at, you mentioned some schools in Florida and some schools in some of the other states that are big kind of football hotbeds. A little different in some of those places, right? But up here, your best 4 kids have to touch the ball pretty much every play. That's just kind of the way we play in Western New York. So, you go even in the AA schools like Jamestown, that's the way they play football.
And you bring up a good point. So, depending on the area that you live in, depends on some of the support and money you can put into the stadiums and all the other things like that. And that does change the atmosphere quite a bit. But I will tell you what, it doesn't matter how big of a stadium or how big of a crowd you have. It's always about the players on the field, and nobody gets the team ready like Coach Harper does.
That's for sure. He's always a motivator. I talked to a couple players this week after last week's Waverly game, and even in that defeat, they felt motivated. They felt like Coach had given them the words they needed to get ready for this week. So that started, Saturday night, and now we're a week later, and these guys look fired up. As they're getting announced and coming out here, you can tell there's some energy.
Yeah, it's going to be important for this game to start quick, and CSP is going to have to come off the ball quick. They're going to have to move the ball downfield quick. We know they can. They can score in bunches, as they proved last year. So I expect to see that this year. I expect CSP to try to come out fast and strong against this Cardinals team.
Yeah, you definitely can't come out and sleepwalk against them. They're going to pound the rock, right? And if you give them the opportunity to make it a slugfest, that's going to play in their favor.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing, Tate Catney's throwing the ball down to Barmore and Brink and Hinsdale as well. And I think CSP has an opportunity in this game. I haven't seen them yet this year, but I think they have an opportunity just from watching them in the pregame to be able to put up a lot of points tonight.
Yeah, and I'll say, watching last week and some of the younger linemen that have taken over, and while some of these guys are seniors, they weren't playing last year. Blaine Ramahi, Colton Rhodes, those guys really stepped up, and they made some good blocks. I watched Colton Rhodes get 2 or 3 pancakes last week against a really, really good defensive line. These guys they're for real. Just because they lost that game, don't sleep on the Wolfpack.
Yeah, the football IQ of this team was just incredible last year. I expect to see it again this year, but having the physical abilities to be able to play the position is one thing, but having the IQ and being able to respond versus reacting is, I think, what separates these kids at this level.
Yeah, I think last year that was John Watson was the leader of that, right? I mean, the guy just knew what was going to happen. He could call out plays, go in there, middle linebacker, and know exactly what the other offense was going to do. This year, that's Colin Ryan, and you see him heading out with the captains right now for the coin toss. Colin is everywhere. He is everywhere, and he makes 10, 12, 15 tackles a game.
Yeah, it's fun, and and we'll establish players like that for Randolph too as we go throughout. We know CSP, of course, from being able to see some of the games and calling them last year as well. But Randolph will kind of see some of those players as the game goes on. You'll see guys playing both sides of the ball. They even probably kick return. Sometimes they're the kicker. Yep. So we'll get to see that as we go on. I expect a good game today, but I do expect CSP, like I said, to come out strong.
We're going through the coin toss now. I think we're going to send it off to commercial just for a moment here. We'll come back to you as we get really close and ready to go with the Lictus Oil and Gas kickoff.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Countertop Solutions, a proud supporter of Wolfpack athletics. Countertop Solutions wishes the Wolfpack luck in their pursuit of excellence on the field. Support for Wolfpack football coverage on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Crotty Chevrolet, located at 45300 Route 6 at the Y in Columbus. Crotty Chevrolet is proud to support the CSP Wolfpack. Play hard, believe in yourself and each other. Vehicles are available for viewing online at crottychevy.com. Phone is 814-581-4094. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Crotty Chevrolet for their support.
CSP Wolfpack coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street, Corry, PA. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com. We thank Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing for their support of Wolfpack football coverage.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by J. Edwards Insurance, with offices at 9 East Main Street in Panama and 800 West 3rd Street in Jamestown. J. Edwards Insurance is always available for a review of your home, auto, and business insurance. We treat you like family. Best of luck to the Wolfpack this season from J. Edwards Insurance, serving New York and Pennsylvania since 1957.
CSP Wolfpack football coverage is brought to you on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream by Jim's Automotive, located at 13250 Route 6 in Corry. Phone 814-664-9602. Offering a full line of auto parts, propane filling, and more. Jim's Automotive wants to wish the best of luck to the Wolfpack this season.
This broadcast of CSP Wolfpack football coverage is sponsored by Meerhoffs Furniture and Appliance, providing refrigeration, cooking, dishwashers, and laundry appliances, and furniture for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, and more. Meerhoffs is located at 128 West Smith Street in Corry, and online at meerhoffs.com. Channel 98.9 Sports thanks Meerhoffs for their support.
Wolfpack football on the Channel 98.9 Corry Federal Credit Union Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support.
Support for CSP Wolfpack football is provided by Sherman Country General Store at 177 West Main Street in Sherman, providing gasoline, groceries, and more. Phone 716-761-6181. Go Wolfpack from Sherman Country General Store.
Welcome back into Clymer, New York for CSP Wolfpack versus Randolph Cardinals football. Just had the national anthem here. We're getting ready to start.
Well, I tell you what, and like we mentioned earlier, it's a beautiful day for football. Going to get about, I think, 75, 80 degrees, I think, from what I saw today. And that's another difference in the high school football season is from week to week. You know, it could be snowing next week from what I've learned up here. So the weather does play a little bit of a factor, though, and you got to stay hydrated. You know, you start getting some cramps as the game goes on when it gets a little hotter. So you got to make sure, and it's a tough job as a coach, you know, being able to make sure everybody stays hydrated, make sure they're in the right position, make sure they're in the right spot to go out on the field next. A lot going on down on the field right now that you don't get to see. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. All we have to worry about is being able to see the numbers, Josh.
That's right. And, you know, as CSP takes the field for the kick return, number 15, Sawyer Whitney, the freshman who had a bunch of good return yards last week. Bryce Hinsdale, Reed DiDomenico. And
yeah, numbers are tough for me to tell as well.
I believe it's Austin Graves on the far side.
We await the kickoff. Game 2.
The Cardinals trying to get the ball set here, and they'll be the kickoff will be Griffin Nelson, the senior. He had a bunch of punts last week, no kicks. And here we go. We are underway. The kickoff is in the air. Bounces at about the 23-yard line and goes all the way out of bounds for a flag. So that's going to be the worst possible way to start the game for a kicker. Tough break there for Griffin Nelson, and CSP will get great field position out of it starting at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, not too sure if the wind really played a factor into that. I think just the kick went straight out of bounds, and like you said, CSP will have good starting position.
And waiting for the refs to get the ball placed, and looks like Randolph does look very big on the defensive line, very tall.
Yeah, we'll see their technique, see if they're able to get into the A and B gap here. And I think that's I think Randolph is going to try to attack straight up the middle defensively.
So here comes CSP now out of the huddle. You have Hinsdale far to the right, all by himself over there, and Brink now in motion as they move everybody around. The I formation, and it's going to be a pitch to the right side to Travis Owens. He breaks one tackle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, gains 5, now 10, and a gain of about 12 on the play.
Gets up to about the 49-yard line. I believe that's where they're going to mark him. Maybe about the 47. And a big play and first down.
Tackle made by Wyatt Weaver from the Cardinals on that play, and I think Travis just kind of ran over a few guys there, caught a few people off guard. So Wolfpack right back to the line of scrimmage, no time wasted here.
Yep, coming out quick.
There's the snap, and there's another handoff to Travis Owens. He hits the hole hard to the right side, gain of about 1 on the play.
It's exactly what I expected CSP to do in the pregame, as I noted. I think they're going to come off the ball quick. They're not going to give Randolph a chance to be able to make any defensive adjustments.
Yeah, once again, no huddle here. Looks like we're going to have 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. So just the one running back in the backfield next to Tate for protection. There's the snap, and it's a quarterback keeper. He's going to run it himself around the right side, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, probably not much more than that.
Yeah, maybe it might make it 2nd down and 9. Good job defensively by the Cardinals to track down Tate Catanese. And Tate did a good job just to actually gain any yards because they had him in the backfield, but quick back up the line.
3rd and 9, and they're right back at it again. There's the snap. Fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He's looking, waiting. There's the throw, and he hits his main man, Barmore. He breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races. That is going to be a CSP touchdown for 52 yards.
But I tell you what, that play took a little bit of time to develop, and it's because Randolph did a good job coming out defensively on that, but able to sneak out past him.
Barmore initially ran in like an in route and then decided to break it off and come back to the outside when he saw his quarterback scrambling to the left. When he broke it off, he got free, took off, 54-yard touchdown pass, Catanese to Alex Barmore, and it's 6-0 CSP just like that.
And that's that football IQ we talked about, Josh.
This is the fast start you were saying that they needed to have. There it is right there, 6 points in less than a minute. There's the snap, and the extra point is up and no good. I think it was just a little bit to the left. Plenty high enough, but hard to tell with the short goalposts here in Clymer.
Yeah, it's going to be 6-0, a quick score from CSP. And we'll be back after this timeout. You're listening to CSP Football, 98.9 FM.
The Corry Federal Credit Union is the platinum sponsor of CSP Wolfpack Football play-by-play coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream. The Corry Federal Credit Union would like to wish the Wolfpack the best of luck this season. The Corry Federal Credit Union has been serving the community since 1958. They offer a wide range of financial and banking services for you and your business. The Corry Federal Credit Union is located at 728 Worth Street in Corry, 56 North Main Street in Union City, 315 Main Street in Spartanburg, and online at corryfcu.org. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks the Corry Federal Credit Union, a not-for-profit organization, for their support of CSP Wolfpack football play-by-play.
All right, welcome back to Clymer Central High School. CSP leads by a score of 6-0 over the Cardinals of Randolph. And getting ready to kick off now is CSP. Josh.
Yeah, Bryce Hinsdale back to kick and back deep for the Cardinals. Looks like they have not seen the numbers. So here's the kickoff from Bryce. It goes over the head of both return men into the end zone and right through the back of the end zone. Heck of a kick from Bryce Hinsdale there.
Yeah, good kick, and that will be the start for Randolph as they will bring it out. And boy, I tell you what, I watched so many different levels. I believe the 20-yard line for high school.
Yeah, it keeps changing, right? I mean, the pro kickoff has changed. Everything keeps changing. So, but yes, it is the 20-yard line for at least Section 6 football.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals. Now, Josh, what do the Cardinals need to do here?
Well, the Cardinals now, they've given up quick points here, right? So now they need to take control of the tempo and try and tilt the momentum back in their favor. So as they come out, wide receiver wide to both sides, power I formation, and you know that they're looking to give it to that strong back in the backfield, and that's Connor Braley. There's the snap, a handoff to Braley to the right side. He's met in the backfield and brought down by a host of Panthers led by Colin Ryan, or host of Wolfpack led by Colin Ryan.
A good job by Colin Ryan. He broke off the block. He forced the play outside, which is what you're supposed to do. Actually, you're supposed to force him inside, but he forced him outside where more help was coming, so great job by the Wolfpack.
10:40 to play here in the first quarter, 6-0 Wolfpack. And, I mentioned in the pregame, Colin Ryan seems to be able to have that high football IQ and read the play and get to where he needs to be. Great play there. We'll see if he can keep it going.
Yeah, he came from the linebacker position, and, boy, I tell you what, he's fast.
Randolph coming out of the huddle now. Same formation as before, power I, with one receiver to both sides. Kind of a strong look to the left here with the tight end. There's the snap, and it's Braley to the left this time. He's met in the backfield again. This time Colton Rhodes has him, brings him down for a loss on the play. Loss of about 2 on the play for the Cardinals.
Yeah, good job by Rhodes. He was able to push the offensive lineman into the backfield, kind of disrupt the play a little bit, and now it's 3rd down and long, which you don't want to be right now if you're the Cardinals.
The Cardinals did get a nice spot from the officials on that one. It was definitely a loss on the play, but they spotted it right at the down marker anyway, so it'll be 3rd and 10. 9:46 to play here in the first half. Kind of rolling along pretty quickly now.
Yeah, I wonder on 3rd down and 10, do you think Randolph's going to come out and try to pass?
Well, I mean, they have a quarterback who can certainly throw the ball in Jackson Morrison. I have to assume that they're going to try and put the ball in his hands and see if they can get a first down here. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right, 2 running backs in the backfield, quarterback in the shotgun. There's the snap to Morrison. He drops back to pass. Pressure's on. He throws it. It's completed out there to Kevin McElwain, who's brought down right around the line of scrimmage. He did not gain much, maybe a yard or 2 on the play. Tackle made by a bunch of Wolfpack members, led by Carter Brink on the play.
Yeah, I tell you what, the defense is extremely fast for CSP, something that they utilized last year, which would, led them to a lot of victories last year. Same thing to start out here in game number 2.
Carter Brink and Bryce Hinsdale back to receive the punt, and something interesting here is Jackson Morrison is back to punt. Now, we said earlier Griffin Nelson was their kicker, so maybe some trickery here from Randolph.
Yeah, we'll see. It's always fun to see the first punt of the game and the formations that both teams play.
High snap over his head. Morrison chasing it into the end zone. Here comes Barmore. Gets somehow right into the hands of a CSP player around the 15-yard line. So the punt is received there by CSP at the 15. This is going to be a punt for -3 yards for Randolph.
Yeah, I tell you what.
That was a weird play.
What's even a little crazier, Jackson Morrison wanted a roughing the kicker penalty as he kicked the ball off and got hit. But in that motion, you're acting as a runner, unfortunately,
Absolutely.
in that position. So no foul on the play.
Alex Barmore was probably a half a second from a safety or maybe even a defensive touchdown right there. And now short field for the Wolfpack, a chance to really get up on the Randolph Cardinals early here.
Yeah, I expect them to come out and throw this ball quick, throw a corner.
And they come right out, 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Quarterback has a sidecar to his left, and there's the motion. Here's the snap. Catney's back to pass. He's looking downfield, lets it go. He has Hinsdale over the middle, and there's a late flag coming in after the catch. Hinsdale's down to about it's got to be about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2. And we're waiting to see what the flag call is. I
think it's going to be a personal foul at the end of the play, I believe.
And the Wolfpack offense running to perfection on that play. Great slant for Bryce, getting right across the middle, wide open. And plenty of time for Tate to look through his receivers and get to his second choice before he threw the ball.
Yeah, I think his first option was the corner of the end zone, I think, and it was well covered by Randolph. And came to the ever-reliant Hinsdale.
That's right. And by the way, he's creeping ever closer to the top of that all-time receptions list in New York. And I had it last week. I don't have the number today, but I think he's about 15 receptions away from the top 4 on that list now.
They might have it this game.
Yeah. So first and goal now for the Wolfpack with 8:23 to play here in the first quarter, leading 6-0. After the personal foul on Randolph, it's about first and goal from the 3-yard line.
CSP looking to punch it in quick again.
And we've seen a change in the personnel for CSP. They've gone heavy now. 2 backs in the backfield and a tight end, as opposed to the wide look before. 2 receivers wide to the left. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Travis Owens. He hits the hole and met in there by the entire Randolph defensive line. He's not going to get enough for the end zone. He does get a yard or 2 on the play.
Yeah, it's going to, if you run that same play again to think you're in the end zone this time, he's about a yard away, probably at about the 1-yard line.
Wolfpack breaks the huddle almost immediately, not wasting any time. This high up-tempo offense continues, same as last week. Similar formation to the previous play.
That's where I like to run the quarterback in.
Tate takes the snap, and it is the quarterback keeper to the left side. He runs a player over at the goal line for a CSP touchdown. That's Tate Catney's from 3 yards out, running over the Randolph defender.
Yeah, and why you put the quarterback in the shotgun to run that instead of just up under center, it causes the defense to have to spread out when you get your receivers out. It just makes the blocking more even on the inside.
So a 12-0 game now after that, 7:47 to play here in the first quarter, and the Wolfpack getting ready to go for 2 here.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. I think after you miss the extra point, you want to be ahead by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, and this is the way to do it.
So we again see Tate in the shotgun. Wide receiver to both sides. There's the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's back to pass. He's looking. Now he's running to his right. He continues to scramble all the way towards the pylon, and he's in for the 2-point conversion.
I tell you what, he did a good job. Tate Catanese created that play himself. The quick out wasn't there. The second option wasn't there, so Catanese rolled. He pointed at the receiver, told him to roll left, so that would take the defender with him. It created a clean running lane to the pylon.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play there. And, we didn't see Tate run a lot last week against Waverly. They had really good contain. He's showing that he still has the legs, and he's going to do that and do damage with that attack. So 14-0 the score now. CSP has jumped out quickly as we are only about 5 minutes into this game here. 4 minutes and 15 seconds into this game.
I thought they were going to score quick coming into this game. I just didn't realize it was going to be that quick and that often.
Yeah. So, now 7:47 to play in the first quarter, getting, everything that's happened, the bad punt attempt from Randolph and CSP's offense looking very, very good. The Cardinals now are in a tough spot. They're going to have to make a drive here. They don't have a first down yet.
Yeah, the reality for the Cardinals is you don't want to veer away from what you've practiced during the whole camp. You got to come back to the running attack, which is what you practiced, and get that working on some of the cylinders, hopefully to get a little bit of momentum for yourself. You don't want to stop what you know right now, not yet.
Absolutely. Bryce Hinsdale's kick goes out the back of the end zone again, so 2 kicks out of the back of the end zone so far today for Bryce. Great kicking effort from him, and the Cardinals will begin at their own 20-yard line.
But I tell you what, it's a lot of fun watching these guys last year and this year, and they get stronger. So the team was good last year with a lot of juniors. I expect them to be this good with seniors.
Morrison will go under center for the Cardinals. 2 wide to the left, power I in the backfield. There's the snap, and it's a handoff to the fullback to the left side, and that is Kevin McElwain, gain of maybe 1 on the play, brought down in there, I believe, by Alex Barmore.
Yeah, good job defensively. Defensive end was able to shoot in, stop the gap. Gap integrity is what we call it, and running back had nowhere to go. Not only do you have to be in the right spot, you have to know how to tackle, and it seems to be CSP has been doing that well early.
Seems like both sides of the ball flying to the play here for CSP so far. 2nd and 9 for Randolph. Morrison again under center. They go with a heavy look to the right with 2 receivers wide and a tight end. Power I in the backfield. There's the snap. Another handoff to the fullback. And Morrison is met in there by Colin Ryan and a host of other Wolfpack players.
I actually like the play. You only gain about 2 yards, but I like that play because what it does is on the next time they run into that formation, CSP may try to jam the middle a little bit more. They had the outside, the right outside, the weak side. They had 2 guys that could have just shot in. I think the next time they line up in that formation, those guys are going to shade to the middle. It'll create a pitch left if you want during that formation at some point in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely a setup play for sure. The reason that play wasn't more successful for probably 2 more yards was the play of Colton Rhodes there. He pinched down and shut the hole really quickly against 2 offensive guard and a center. So really great